here, and we're good to go. I know, Alan, me too, man. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Stock Watch Sunday. My name is Brad, and this is Own the Chaos, where I talk about everything over-the-counter penny stocks. And if you've been following me for a little while, you also know that I've been starting to evolve some things that involve my business. And I'm really starting to branch out a little bit and really starting to understand owning the chaos of life as well. So stocks aren't going anywhere, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about the things that I do outside of stock trading. And then, this is a platform to do it on, right? That's why people, create content for YouTube. And so far, the reviews or comments or whatever have been a little bit mixed, but I would say they're starting to lean towards more the positive side. And all in all, I'm really just having a great time, bringing my thoughts about business and how I've been able to build a successful business up to this point, which if you're not familiar with, it's WeTradeHQ.com. The links are down in the description below if you want to go check that out. It's absolutely a free platform that you can go and chat with other investors just like yourself. And learn and grow and celebrate each other's success. It's really just a great platform to be a part of. It's absolutely free to be a part of that. We have over 4,300 members from around the world, really just crushing it every day. And, there are paid services. I do have a morning mentorship where I go live with folks from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time and help them crush it as well. It's not an alert service. I don't ever try to encourage people to buy whatever it is that I'm buying. So if that's what you're looking for, that's not what it is that I do or what any of the other mentors over at WeTradeHQ do. We simply share with everybody our strategies on how we are able to become successful, and it's really a great way to teach people. I think it's not just go buy whatever it is that I'm buying. It's just here's my strategy, here's how I'm able to create risk management and all that good stuff. So if you want to go check that out, feel free to do so. Got a lot of people tuning in tonight already, so what's going on? We welcome some folks here. What's going on? Jennifer Lynn, Taroma, Quick Fox, Jesse, what's going on, man? Good to see you, buddy, as well. Laura, Andrew, Nate, Norman. Man, got a lot of folks in here. This is awesome. A lot of my morning mentorship folks I'm seeing in here as well. Beam me up. What's going on? Andrew, Mark, and Alan. So guys, this is great. Good turnout so far. So I got 6 stocks that I'm watching throughout this week. A couple of them are repeats from last week just because there hasn't been a lot of movement in the OTC. It's been painfully slow, and believe it or not, I actually have something from the New York Stock Exchange that I'm looking to day trade, perhaps maybe a 1 or 2 day, swing trade that I see potential in because of certain political climates and what's going on, geographically, and how that can impact the markets moving into next week, maybe even beyond. We'll see. So, all right. Let's go ahead and get started, and I will share my screen with you guys as per the usual. Make sure everything's working just fine. It looks like it is. All right, so first thing I'm going to talk about is PRED. Now, last Stock Watch Sunday, I was talking about PRED, about how much I really like this stock. I like the long-term potential it has. It has not disappointed up to this point. I've gone into great detail as to why I see so much value in this stock. They're looking to uplist to NASDAQ any day. This is still on the pink sheets, but I think there's a lot of value to be had here. Their stem cell research, everything that they've disclosed already has been extremely successful. The management that's behind PRED is outstanding as well. And so I explained to you guys last week, though, that we saw such a huge run-up on PRED that I expected some sort of pullback to occur, and it did. I don't like to always try to say everything's going to go to the moon. When I observe something that's overextended, I'm going to try and, tell people when I see that something's overextended. So we saw this. I said, hey, listen, I think there's going to be a pullback even within the morning mentorship. I said, look for it to come down into the high 4s area. It actually came down to a previous high of 475, and it bounced off of that. After it bounced off, I told folks within the WeTradeHQ group and morning mentorship as well that I don't expect it to come back down to that 475, that I think that we'll continue to see strength from PRED, especially as we get into the uplisting to NASDAQ. Once you have a lot more money floating around on something like this, I think that the right eyeballs will catch it, and we could see a lot more value in PRED. And it's already done that. You know, every time it's gotten overextended, it's had a healthy pullback, gone to a previous high, and then gone to higher highs. This is on a serious uptrend here, and I can sit here and just draw you this. Oops, let me get rid of that. Give me a trend line here. So again, this is WeTrade HQ again. By the way, guys, this is the website that I created with my partner Jake, and it's absolutely free. I went ahead and just searched PRED, and I can do technical analysis and talk with my friends here. This is a great platform that a lot of people are getting a lot of value at for free, for nothing. So anyway, the trend here looks fantastic. Higher lows and higher highs. There's nothing that you can say that's bad about PRED, and I think there's nothing that's telling me that not to believe that it's going to continue on this trend going into the summertime and going into this uplisting as well. So PRED is definitely one to keep on your watch. Plenty of opportunities to make day trades on it if you wanted to do so. But if you're like myself and see long-term potential in something like PRED, I think that you can't go wrong either way. So just want to check in with some folks, see how you guys are doing. Hey, thanks for Kyle. Appreciate that. All right, so this is one that has just been a huge source of contention here. IFLM. Now, I told you guys last week, right? And I'm going to come back here just so that I feel like I'm talking to you guys. But IFLM, this is one that I talked to you guys about last week, that it's still very much a lotto play. And this could go one of two ways. It can go very badly for one Jake P. Knock, or it can go very great for Jake and all of the investors that are in IFLM. And then I expressed that there's a lot of things that I have a lot of hesitancies and red flags about. But if he can somehow pull it off, it could be a huge runner, no doubt. The problem is here, and I'm sure Jake might end up watching this because I'll be tagging IFLM. It seems like he's pretty active on Twitter. So, I mean, I'm not trying to bash the stock. I'm not trying to bash Jake. I'm just trying to be as unbiased and open, as honest as I can about what's going on here. But if you look at what he's been doing, you just can't be just tweeting about some sort of stock that you're pumping up that you're not technically a part of right now. You're not the CEO. You're not an officer of the company, and you're just throwing tweets out all over the place, getting people convinced that this is somehow for a fact going to go crazy. And you can't expect there not to be any repercussions for that. So let me just kind of show you what's going on. If you simply go to Jake's Twitter account, which is his Pro Music Rights Twitter account, which has nothing to do with even the direction that he's taking IFLM in. It's just full of just a lot of misinformation, I feel as if. So just recently, just before this live stream, he's talking about this Theodore Hansen guy who apparently is now the new CEO of IFLM, which if you go to this PR, it's on PR Log. And whether or not this PR is real or fake, because there's a lot of that being thrown around as well. Theo Hansen apparently is a new CEO. I don't know anything about him. Okay, so again, this could be completely fabricated. Who knows? The only reason I'm saying that is because the Nevada Secretary of State has yet to have been updated. So I guess we'll wait. Or not Nevada, Wyoming Secretary of State has not yet been updated as far as that's concerned. Jeff Ritchie still looks like he's still the CEO. So until we see something on Secretary of State, we're going to continue to assume that Jeff Ritchie is the CEO. But this press release comes out saying that Theo Hansen is the new CEO and starts to talk about Jake in this PR. So again, I don't know if it's real or not, but he refers to Jake and basically how Jake's actions have brought upon the caveat emptor symbol here. This didn't have a caveat emptor until Jake started buying up ridiculous amounts of shares, and then all of a sudden it gets slapped with it. And so then Jake starts throwing up a bunch of court-related stuff, something about Utah, and then starts to talk about Theo Hansen and spells his name wrong. So I don't know if you're looking up the right Theo Hansen here. He's talking about Theo Hansen with Hanson. The Theo Hansen he was sharing court documents about was SEN. So where was it? He must have deleted them. I don't see him anymore. He was sharing some stuff that didn't make a whole lot of sense. Well, yeah, here's one of the articles that he shared. And so this one is Theodore Hansen. So I don't know. There's a lot of red flags here, Jake. You got to clear some stuff up. Here's the other thing, okay? If I were doing a takeover, if I wanted to start a publicly traded company and I wanted to get into the stock market, if I wanted to do something smartly and not spend a whole lot of money doing it, I'll do it in the form of a reverse merger. Find a quality shell that, that we know a lot of people do. We could talk about Joseph Acaro. We could talk about Richard Chang, any of those guys that clean shells up so that you don't have to worry about this BS and do it that way. That makes a whole lot more sense than doing it the way that you're doing, because right now all that is perceived as that this is a pump and dump. And right now it's still a lottery at this point. It's a 000 stock. They all should be treated as lottos until they're not. And just leave it at that. There's a lot of drama revolved around this. So if you are at all nervous about investing in something like IFLM, then don't invest in it. I have a few shares of it. It's not something that I'm betting the farm on. Not even remotely close, because here's the other thing. Jake's been throwing about $1.67 per share target, which is insane. And so, yeah, there's just a lot that's going on. And, as far as having trust in investors, how about you go ask what VNUE investors are feeling about Jake Knock right now? Because I guarantee you the sentiment's not all that great. So there's just a lot of stuff going on here that I think could land you in a lot of legal trouble as well. So I don't know. It's just it's a lot of BS, I think, that's being thrown around from both sides, and there's a lot of lack of clarity. And so whenever there's lack of clarity, people get scared and people will sell. So take that for what you will. This one was just way too important to not cover as far as the stock to watch. Should you buy it? Should you sell it? I don't know. That's not what the intention of Stockwatch Sunday is anyway. But I wanted to make sure that I was giving you my sentiments, my opinions, and just kind of like going through the motions here of just saying, listen, because the thing is too is that there's a lot of people that are like, oh, this guy's got it going on, he knows exactly what he's doing, and all this other stuff, it's going to the moon. Oh, now right now people are shorting it. First of all, you can't, I don't know if you can or can't, that's still up for debate as to whether or not you can short something like this, but you'd be an idiot to short something at 0.004 cents per share. An idiot. There's no way. The risk is just far too great. So just get that out of your head. That's not happening. So I don't know. Just take that for what you will. At this point in the game, it's still a lottery. The bottom line is it's still a lotto play. You got some money to throw around and you want to take a chance on it because you think maybe it's got something? Okay, cool. But there's a lot of other red flags going on with IFLM that I just don't know. If you have a small account and you can't handle a lot of risk, probably would be something that I would stay away from, at least right now. So there you go. That's my educated, well-informed, stint on IFLM. So, all right. So let's talk about a couple of sounds like a soup sandwich. That's awesome. Okay, so the next one's going to be, moving on now from IFLM. We're going to talk about KPay. So KPay was another one that I talked about. This is one that I'm kind of bringing back up from last Sunday. And I kind of like shared my sentiments on this one, that I felt as if it looked like it was extremely oversold. And that you can make a case for making entries at 24 cents per share. And that I felt as if it was going to start to reverse. Sure enough, it did. Even if it was on low volume, it made a nice little move back up over 40 cents, or almost to 40 cents at one point. The thing is with KPay, if you go and do some more due diligence on this, we're waiting on funding. if the funding actually happens, and this is just a press release that came out at the end of May, if the funding happens to KPay, this thing will go through the roof. You know, there was a negative reaction on KPay because of the 10Q that came out recently stating that they were looking for other funding that could include convertible debt. And so people didn't like that. But I feel like they just had to have had that in there because they're looking for some sort of funding for their business. And so for this, if this type of funding actually goes through, I think we'll see a lot more value to be had with KPay. If you're looking at security details and looking at share structure, it's really, really juicy looking. Wouldn't take a whole lot of dollar volume to get this puppy moving. So that's my sentiments on KPay. ALTN, still another long-term hold, I think, for this one. I talked about this one last week. And let's see. June's, yeah, okay. So right here, right about here is where I said that I think that this would be a good spot to get into. Anywhere between 30 and let's move this up. I think it was like 30. I can't remember what I said last week. But if I'm just looking at it right off the bat, I'm saying anywhere between 25 and 31 cents per share would have been a nice little sweet spot to get into. It's already started to move up out of that little channel, and we'll see where this goes from here. But ALTN, I think, has got a lot of long-term potential going on. I was looking through their last quarterly filing. They're cash flow positive. And, who are they? If you're watching this for the first time, want to know what ALTN does. They are a solar company based in Europe. So if we go to the company profile, you can see it's a global renewable energy company that operates utility scale solar parks internationally. Specifically, they're in Europe right now. They're starting to expand over into Asia, and will probably eventually get to the U.S. But in Europe, this is a huge business. And so I think they have a lot of great opportunity as far as ALTN goes. We're waiting on some, potential catalyst to really get this thing moving. But I like the share structure here. Again, not a lot going to take this. This is going to get this moving. Share structure looks fantastic at these levels, especially for an OTC. And I think that they're doing all the right things. ALTN is a good longer-term potential type hold. And just to kind of give you guys an idea, excuse me, I've been, throwing you guys, some stocks that I'm watching for longer term potential and longer term holds. And these are a little bit more stable than the ones that I'm usually showing you guys because the OTC market has not been good lately since I would say, really this past year hasn't been the best market that I've seen in recent years. There hasn't been a whole lot of big runners. And especially, I would say in the last 8 weeks or so, it's been awful. Really bad. So when I'm looking to make trades in the OTC now, I have to be a lot more selective, and I'm looking for things that have a little bit more stability and a little less volatility because they're at least a little bit more predictable than your typical OTC that's low double zeros or even triple zero stock. The triple zeros are really sketch right now. They would be sketch in a regular market. Now they're even more so because you're talking the likelihood of a triple zero stock having a huge share structure and how much money it's going to take to move that, and there's not enough money in the market in general. You're kind of screwed. So take that for what you will. And so that's why I'm looking at stocks like ALTN and PRED and even starting to move some into some of the NASDAQ type stuff because there's just not much money flowing around in the OTC at this point. So there you go for ALTN. And this one's just another lotto play. I noticed some unusual volume on this one. The chart looks like it's bottomed out here. It's DGTW. We saw 52-week lows on this one last week, really in the last several weeks, and it started to get some unusual volume going on here. It looks as if the dilution faucet has turned off. And we'll see if that actually holds true going into next week. But it looked like over the last several days that there hadn't been any dilution going on based off of looking at level 2. There wasn't any conversion of shares. They just recently had a 10K that came out, and they still have a lot of convertible debt to speak of. But, right now, currently, they don't have any notes that are due at this point in time. Whether or not they're going to convert them anytime soon remains to be seen. But lots of times, there's a good little catalyst that can be had if dilution stops. I would expect that maybe this goes up to, if the dilution stays off and people start to catch on, perhaps we'll see a nice little move into the double zeros. I'm not expecting any kind of crazy penny runs or anything like that, but I think that we could see a nice little move out of DGTW. And again, as always, please treat 000 stocks as nothing more than a lotto play. But I thought the unusual volume was interesting. And anytime dilution stops, at least even if it's momentarily, it's always a good catalyst. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. The next one, let me just check in with you guys. And yeah, I'll get to a lot of the stocks we're talking about. Or that you're asking me about. Please keep them coming. The only other thing that I would ask, guys, instead of just putting the ticker symbol, can you please give me something? Why do you see value in the stock? Why are you asking about it? That way I at least have a direction and an appropriate way to respond. Other than that, I appreciate it. And yeah, please smash that like button as well. I'd appreciate that too. And yeah, so, okay. Next one that I'm watching this week is JNUG, and for whatever reason I couldn't get it pull up on WeTrade HQ properly. Let's pull it up here. So JNUG is a gold ETF. I've been day trading this one, and I've been honing in my day trading skills because usually I'm just a swing trader. I do a lot of fundamental trading, and so I've been kind of perfecting my technical analysis skills here. There was a significant pullback on JNUG on Friday, and I think that it had a nice little bounce here from the 868 range. I day traded this from 944, and then it went up to 960s. Actually came back down. I didn't end up selling, and then it came back down to I came back down to like 919 area, which I added around, I think it was 925. I'd have to go back and look. Either way, I actually ended up on a loss trading JNUG on Friday. It wasn't much. It wasn't anything that I was like super pissed about, but it was just weird trading on Friday as far as JNUG is concerned. Why am I looking at JNUG? Why am I looking at gold related stocks? Well, because of the political climate that's going on. The oil tankers that were attacked in Iran. That is that route supplies 40% of the world's crude oil. So if there's a lot of turmoil going on there, and if you guys watched one of my recent videos about gold and when it's a good time to get into gold, and I talked about economic distress and talks of war, anything like that that's going on, then gold will go up in value. And I still think that JNUG is a good one to trade. Oh, you know what? This isn't JNUG. Hold on. I completely screwed up, guys. Give me one sec. I was looking at Pred the entire time. I was like, this is weird. Okay. I had the wrong one pulled up. Give me one moment. One moment here. I think I was looking at the wrong chart. Let me just double check with you guys. The only thing about going live is that I can't go back, right? I can't go back and try to double check what I was looking at because I think I actually hit my hotkey and was like, this doesn't look right. It was a different chart. So hold on one sec. Yeah, it was the right one. It was the right one. I just wanted to double check I wasn't misinforming anybody or steering them in the wrong direction. So I went over everything fine. Okay, cool. So anyways, I'm looking at gold because of, the economic distress that's going on and the possible conflict that's going on geopolitically. So I think that this is a good time, not just JNUG, but if you're looking to get into any kind of gold related stock, it's worth taking a look at to see if you can make a nice little trade on it. Even if it's a swing trade, I think that the fact that we are looking at a potential correction in the stock market overall, as well as everything else that is going on, that gold could definitely be a nice little trade for you to make. I know it's not sexy. I know it's not like everybody's like, oh, that's what the old guys trade, but gold definitely has its potential, I think, especially given everything that's going on currently. So yeah, let me go ahead and take a look at some other ones that folks we're talking about. Somebody said I like buying the opinions on JNUG. I think the options maybe was something that maybe you were trying to say options. SRDPD, I think definitely has some value there. So the SRDP just went through a reverse split, so that's why the D is on the end of that ticker now. So it's SRDPD, and so I think there's some value to be had there. They had to go through the reverse split in order to meet requirements to get uplisted to NASDAQ. So I think buying this post split could be a good idea. I've won over this at length as far as due diligence is concerned. So for efficiency's sake, I'm not going to go over a whole lot of it right now as far as what value is to be had with SRDPD. But I will say with the, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time or just hearing about the stock, it is related to cryptocurrency. Bitcoin has now started to resurge into the 88,000 range. And so I think the more that Bitcoin becomes relevant and the more value people see in cryptocurrency, SRDP could be a nice little mover. I think out of all the over-the-counter pink sheets, that SRDP is one of the more valuable ones to be had. So if you're really big in the crypto, if you love trading cryptocurrency stocks, SRDP, you might want to take a look at it. So I do see a lot of value on that one. Thanks for bringing it up, Fugazi. T. Fugazi, I think. I always try to pronounce these names, even though I know that I'm going to butcher them. But hey, whatever. Let's see. MJ Stocks opening shops in New York soon. Yeah, so MJ Stocks, BMMJ, still one of my favorite weed stocks. I really like BMMJ. It's oversold right now, starting to make a nice little turn. I think BMMJ is definitely a good one to look at. Jesse says ITHUF is taking a beating. It's in my portfolio. Not really happy about it. Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like it's downtrending. I'm not sure about that. May have something to do with the RS happening before the end of the month. That could be it. That's why I don't know if I would hold on to JNUG. JNUG is simply, I've never held JNUG overnight for that. And there's a lot of reasons why I wouldn't hold it overnight. It was simply something to day trade. But I would agree with that perhaps it's starting to downtrend for that reason. We'll see though. But yeah, full disclosure, there is a RS pending, or a reverse split pending for JNUG. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Chesapeake Energy, do you think they could be at their bottom? They are a huge company for longer term. Should recover. Let's look at it. Chesapeake Energy. Let me pull it up here. I'll share my screen here as I'm pulling it up. Trading at $1.77. I don't know why the charts aren't coming up here for me on WeTrade HQ. Hold on. Stand by. Oh, of course. And now my Thinkorswim's not doing. Oh, here we go. Okay. CHK. Had to pull it up on Thinkorswim. Hopefully it'll pull up here now. We'll see. Nothing's working. All right. Let's try one more thing here. There we go. TradingView is not going to fail me. All right. No thanks. So CHK, Chesapeake Energy Corp, looking at the chart here, it is on a downtrend significantly. I wouldn't venture to say that it's even oversold at this point. Looking at Bollinger Bands, and I bet you if I pull up RSI, I don't know if, let's look at it. Let me pull up RSI here. Yeah, see, I don't know if this would be one that I would be getting into just yet. Nothing in here is telling me that there's a good time to buy just yet. So I'd have to look at it a little bit closer. But if I'm looking at something for a longer term investment, it's still on a downtrend. I don't see anything that's telling me that it's ready to go on a reversal just yet. So definitely continue to watch it if it's something you see value in. But I'm not sure there would be anything on this chart just at this moment in time that would lead me to believe that it would be a good time to buy. I think it has to form a nice solid bottom, and it doesn't look like that it's done that quite yet. So let's see here. CHK, yeah, we just covered that. So I hope that helped. Quick Red Fox. ENT double bottom, reversal support around $50. So ENT. So let's see if we can get this to pull up. Oh, TradingView is being weird today. ENT. So I'm going to pull up ENT. So let's see. Lost One says double bottom trend reversal support around 50 cents. Room to run up to resistance of $1.25. Volume could be a problem. Last 69.41. So yeah, let's take a look at the chart and see if you're right, or see if I at least agree with you. No thanks. Okay. So you're saying you think that support is around 50 cents. I would agree with that. I think support's a good around 50 cents, and it's starting. And you think that it's going to go up to $1.25. $1.25 is way up here, and RSI is super spicy. RSI is spicy. It's running along the top of these Bollinger Bands. Perhaps it gets there. This chart is really choppy, and I would agree with you too that volume seems to be a bit of an issue. Maybe there was a slight overreaction to earnings last time, and that's why we've seen a little bit of a reversal. I don't know if the reversal is going to go as high as $1.25 yet. The volume's got to be there for one. As you can see, lately it's been drying up, as you alluded to, so I'd agree with you there. I don't know if it's going to go as high as $1.25. I mean, we're talking over a 100% move from that support level. So I don't know if it's going, if I would see that happening, unless there was some sort of catalyst that added more value to ENT. But yeah, I would agree that this double bottom definitely occurred here for sure. But I don't know if it's going to continue all the way up to $1.25. I don't know if I'm prepared to say that at this time. And like I said, unless we get some more volume out of that one. Sure thing, buddy. No problem. LGCY, good Lord, that thing has been crazy. ITHUF is U sticker for trying to read this, trying to make sense. Hold on. Hiring big names for marketing operations and such oversold on the weekly and dropped 52% in the last 3 months. Screaming by me now, but maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, let me take a look. Let me just double check the ticker. ITHUF. So ITHUF is starting to look like it's at a bottom support. I don't see any signs of a reversal just yet. You can see that it's starting to warm back up on RSI. It was extremely oversold. Whether or not it's going to come back up here, I can sympathize with Jesse here now that he's saying how horrible it's been. I don't know if I'm ready yet to say that it's a confirmed reversal. Right now, it's just reminiscent of a dead cat bounce. As you can see, that this came all the way back down here to oversold, and it bounced for a couple of days and came right back down. Has yet to form some sort of bottom support yet. So if you're looking for some sort of reversal, you might be waiting a little bit until we can see some sort of decent consolidation and an actual support that it seems to form. But doesn't look like there's anything that's telling me that yes, this is actually happening just yet with ITHUF. So take that for what you will. Definitely looks like there's a huge sell-off. That sucks. I mean, all the way down, and then, like I said, a little bit of a dead cat bounce. Came back down here. It's not showing any signs of a reversal just yet. Yeah, I don't know if energy stocks will be doing all that well. I mean, I would venture to say that we probably, if we still see more of a crisis in the Middle East, when it comes to Iran cutting off oil, I think that we'll see an increase in crude oil. I think the value of that will probably go up. We'll have to wait and see. EDXC. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the 1 day right now. No extreme. That was the 1 day that I just went over. So EDXC, let's pull that up. All right, so it looks like EDXC is maybe trying to form some sort of base here. It looks like, again, on another downtrend, but it looks like it's starting to try to form some sort of base here based off of the chart. Again, this is a daily chart, or no, I'm sorry, this is a 30-minute chart. And I have to apologize. Maybe I had a 30-minute chart pulled up on the last one. But I'm kind of working off the fly here because I'm having some technical difficulties. But it looks like it's starting to work its way into this little channel between 28 and 22, maybe even 23, 24 to 28. Maybe if it starts to bring itself in that channel, that could be a decent area or range to buy in. You know, barring no more negative catalysts. EDXC. Let's take a look. Looking at security details, share structure looks okay. Nothing's been updated in a while, but if these are still the actual numbers, it's okay. Nothing crazy. Let's look at the last quarterly report. Quarterly reports are such a pain in my ass, especially when they're like this. Just give me a balance sheet, for crying out loud. That's all I want. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to pull the balance sheet here. Notes payable. You got $1 million note here. A derivative liability, which is for sure convertible debt, $500,000. We'll just call that. $782,000. Just a lot of notes to convert. So we're going to need something positive catalyst, so that nobody gets dumped on, right? This is what's probably been happening. You'll see some dilution that looks like, based off this chart, that could have been happening here. So we'll see. As far as EDXC is concerned, where did I just have that? Yeah, okay. So I would venture to say the share structure is actually larger than that. So it might not be all that fantastic. It would probably need a more valuable catalyst to kind of really get that going. So as far as EDXC is concerned, if they can clean up their debt, if they can get things moving that way, then perhaps we'll see a nice little move on EDXC. But there's a lot of debt back in there, especially with it being traded at 27 cents. It's got a lot of room to go down. So be careful with that. Yeah, that's true. All right, Bakes. Okay, so that's going to be it for me, guys. So went over a lot of stuff. I hope I had added some value for you, and if I did, I certainly would appreciate a subscription. And if you like this video, if you like the stocks that I went over, I certainly would appreciate a thumbs up. I don't know how many people are watching right now. I'll have to go and look. It looks as if right now I got 64 people watching. And hopefully I can get some more thumbs up. If you did like this video, I certainly would appreciate it. And that's going to be it for me, guys. If you want to go check out my morning mentorship, if you're interested in just trying to learn how I trade over-the-counter penny stocks and how I've been able to do this for a living, I quit my 9-to-5 over a year ago, and it was the best decision I ever made. And I'm just enjoying this ride as I continue to live my best life. So if you want to go check that out, I certainly would appreciate it. It's over there at WeTradeHQ.com. The links are down in the descriptions. And that's it for me, guys. As always, I will see you all before the bell. And B. Smith is out. Have a good weekend and enjoy your rest of your Father's Day. By the way, thank you, fathers, for Father's Day. Shout out.